Chodesh Tov. Happy new month of Elul, which begins Thursday night, August 20th. When we honor Rosh Chodesh, the new month, we honor the beginning of a new cycle of the moon, but we also can connect to the idea of a Rosh Chadash, a new mindset. Elul is a time that is traditionally given over to preparation for Rosh Hashanah, which will be in exactly 1 month. It's a time for inner reflection. And I think especially this year when we're so isolated, it is a good time for us to say, okay, how can I prepare for the holidays on my own so that we're no longer outsourcing our spiritual life, but we're inwardly working on ourselves as we prepare for the holidays. Maybe this is the year that you finally decide to do an Elul journal, reflecting each day on an aspect of life that we're grateful for or that we might want to change or ways in which we might want to grow in the coming year. And I love the psalm that we're taught to say each day of Elul, Psalm 27, which includes that fabulous line, Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. One thing I ask, O God, shivti beveit Adonai, kol yimei chayai. Help me to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. A friend recently asked me, what does that mean when we say Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha? Happy are those who dwell in God's house. What does it mean to really dwell in God's house? And I think it's an interesting question. How do we walk through the world in a way where we feel like we're seeing God's presence? When a time like this hits us as so scary or things feel like they're not actually so positive, let's say it that way, how do we experience our world as a place where God can exist, where we can reside alongside God? For me, that's an interesting question, and it's something I work with each day, where God perhaps stands for grace over despair, an idea that the good can prevail. For me, that's what it means to live in God's house, to dwell in a place where there's hope, to dwell in a place where I see God around me. That's the metaphorical understanding of that phrase. But this year, I think we need to be a little bit more literal as well. We need to think about how are we setting up our own home as a place where we can invite God in. We won't be together in the synagogue. What is going to be your personal sanctuary? How will you sit in a place where you can feel God on the holidays? Now's a good time to start thinking about that. Now's a good time to start setting up your makom kadosh, your holy place in your home, little mini sanctuary, a mikdash me'at, where you can feel like you're not running around your kitchen multitasking during the holiday services, but instead you're sitting softly with your machzor, with your book, and experiencing a moment of real prayer. Maybe you're going to put your candles out. Maybe you'll put out a picture of someone who's important to you or a place that calls to mind your spiritual journey. Maybe you'll put out some things that are from dear family members so that you feel like you're in a place where you can dwell in God's house. We'd love to see pictures of the makom kadosh that you're creating in your home, so send them to us. We'd love to know where you'll be. As we join you from the synagogue, we'd love to know how you'll be dwelling in God's home over the holidays and over the course of the next month. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai ota avakesh. I just ask for one thing. Help me to dwell in your house, God. Shivti beveit Adonai, kol yimei chayai. Chodesh Tov. See you soon.